So with Gordon Jago having left the club, it was time for Rangers to find a new manager. Brian Clough, Dave Sexton and Terry Venables were all linked to the job, as well as caretaker manager Stan Anderson, who'd remained in charge for the next couple of games. We got back to winning ways when top of the table Ipswich came to Loftus Road, and a goal from Jerry Francis was enough to earn us a second win of the season, in a game widely remembered for Terry Mancini's final league appearance in a QPR shirt. Mancini had been arguing with Gregory over a move to Arsenal for weeks, with a fee originally agreed before Gregory raised the price, so that Mancini was left in limbo and out of the QPR team, potentially missing out on a move to Arsenal. He was back in the Rangers side for that Ipswich game, and as he walked off the pitch, he saw Gregory up in the stand. So he turned round and dropped his shorts before wiggling his arse at Gregory. Little did Mancini know that the Match of the Day cameras were in town, and Jimmy Hill shone a light on the incident, meaning Mancini was suspended by the FA for 2 weeks. The move ultimately worked out, though, for Mancini, as he was sold to Arsenal just a few days later. So with Mancini on his way out, QPR were heading out of the League Cup in a humiliating night for Rangers, as we were thrashed 4-0 by Newcastle. It was Arsenal up next, though, with Frank McClintock returning from injury to face his former side, and the big match cameras were there to see a Stan Bowles masterclass.
Well, that's a good ball by Radford, and Kelly has found it well, getting in behind those Rangers defenders. May have delayed just a little too long, but he's got it across. Radford is there with a header. Played down for Kidd, and Webb, he wasn't sure how he stopped it, but he did. Now Radford again. Cross once more, on the far side is ball. Kidd is there again, and Brian Kidd has scored. Or rather, Thomas now. Chipped in again there. Bowles is there with a header. Oh, and that very nearly got past Rimmer. Here's Francis, and Rimmer turning that behind for the corner. And Arsenal very nearly caught out. A good header there by Stan Bowles. And Rimmer, in fact, seemed to make harder work of that than was necessary, but nonetheless got it away. Now ball. Brady played for ball again. Well, that went off Brady for Francis. This might be the chance for the break now for Queen's Park Rangers. Bowles going up on the left, Francis going well. And the shot by Bowles, yes! 1-1. Took it so coolly, Stan Bowles. And that's the answer to all the booing, and the best possible answer from Queen's Park Rangers' point of view, as long as Bowles himself would only realise it. A beautifully weighted ball from Jerry Francis. And Bowles caught it swiftly and superbly. Past Rimmer and right into the corner. 1-1. And now forward for Bowles. Oh, look at the gap he found for himself there. Or made for himself. And a penalty. Bowles brought down by Story. Penalty given. And Jerry Francis will be the man who's got to take it. So here's the chance now for Rangers to go into the lead. Bowles brought down, and I'm bound to say that the referee had no doubt at all about it. Well, now can he add number 2 and really silence that booing? Or does he leave himself a target again for the Arsenal fans? Bowles against Rimmer, and a chance for Rangers to go 2-1 into the lead, and he's done it. A well-taken penalty by Stan Bowles with a lot of coolness and a lot of pressure on him. Finding the roof of the net beyond the reach of Rimmer. Now Armstrong right in there, beaten in the air by Gillard. Kidd is right up there too, and it might come now for Radford. Yes, Radford has done it. 2-2. The ball bouncing about there. Finally it came through to John Radford with so little time left. Left-footed into the far corner. Arsenal 2, Queen's Park Rangers 2.
So following that draw, on the 16th of October 1974, QPR appointed Dave Sexton as manager. He took the job after recently losing his job at Chelsea, and he would prove to be an inspired appointment. Now, Sexton was a coach known for wanting to play attacking football with plenty of flair in the side. He was perfectly suited to the job at Loftus Road and the squad he had inherited. His first game, though, was a tough one, home against Liverpool. Rangers lost 1-0, But he soon got his first win as QPR manager in an away game at Wolves, Don Gibbons scoring twice in a 2-1 win. Now, there was no international breaks back in the 70s, so a few days after that Wolves game, England were in action against Czechoslovakia at Wembley, with our own Gerry Francis and Dave Thomas making their debuts for England in a 3-0 win. So as October ended, Rangers were 19th in the table after a difficult start to the season. Gerry Francis was top goal scorer with 6 goals, whilst Don Gibbons and Stan Bowles both had 4 goals to their name each. November began with a home game against Coventry, and it was back-to-back league wins for the first time that season, as Stan Bowles and Don Gibbons helped Rangers to a 2-0 win. It was around this time that Terry Venables was linked with a return to QPR, just over a month after he left us. Dave Sexton wanted some experience in midfield and needed a playmaker, so a return for Venables as a player coach looked possible, but Palace blocked the move, and Sexton had to look elsewhere for that missing piece of the jigsaw. That midfield player was needed after another bad defeat, this time at Derby. Phil Parkes saved a twice-taken penalty to keep us level before the team collapsed to a 5-2 defeat. That proved to be just a bit of a blip, though. Another inspired Dave Thomas performance out wide helped us to a 2-1 win over Carlisle, with Stan Bowles scoring against his former club, before the pair combined again against Middlesbrough, with Thomas going on a rampaging run down the wing before crossing for Bowles to glance a header in and open the scoring, making it 6 goals in 7 games for Stan the man. That game also saw a new signing Don Rogers get his first QPR goal in a 3-1 win. So 4 wins from 5 games, but we then hit a wall again, losing 3 games in a row to Stoke, West Ham and Burnley. We weren't playing badly, but we were missing tons of chances in all 3 of those games, and that was becoming a bit of a theme for the season. Off the pitch, Stan Bowles was hitting the headlines again after being involved in 2 fights on the training ground with Frank McClintock and Gerry Francis. Bowles was having a bit of a tough time and he was back on the transfer list again, but things were about to change. Firstly, there was a significant departure, with Tony Hazel leaving Rangers to join Millwall. Now, Hazel was the last member of the 1967 Cup final team who was left at the club, and he played 415 times for QPR in a fantastic career, putting him 8th on the all-time list for appearances. There was, though, a major signing, as Dave Sexton got his man to slot into midfield, and Scottish international Don Masson signed from Notts County. Masson would go on to be one of the greats at Loftus Road, and his arrival had an instant impact. We beat Sheffield United 1-0 on his debut, with Phil Parkes in fine form, keeping a clean sheet, and Don Rogers getting the winner. It was clear we now had a team to turn that season around. There was also a return for Stan Bowles. He was back in the side for an away game at Tottenham.
Bowles! Oh, beauty! Stan Bowles!
Boxing Day saw Leicester visit Loftus Road, and they were no match for Rangers. We made it 3 wins in a row and 7 wins in the last 11 games. John Beck, Dave Thomas, Don Gibbons and youngster Danny Westwood got the goals in a 4-2 win. It was Chelsea up next, and a first ever top flight win at Stamford Bridge, making it 4 wins in a row. A double from Don Gibbons and a 7th goal of the season for Gerry Francis gave Rangers a thumping 3-0 win. We ended December in mid-table, just 5 points behind leaders Ipswich, after a stunning run of 8 wins in 12 games for Dave Sexton. Stan Bowles was now top goal scorer with 10 goals, Don Gibbons had 9, and Gerry Francis got 7 from midfield. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a like and subscribe to the channel. Coming up in part 3, the team looks to go on a cup run in the FA Cup. We try and push towards a European place, and there are more England caps for QPR players.